Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Emma and here we are going to talk about all things cozy, bookish, reading, literary, living our best cozy bookworm lives because that is truly my goal in life, to be fair. So why not have a channel dedicated to it? Since it's finally under like 70 degrees, broke out the fall sweater. Honestly, still a little too hot, but it's cozy, so I'm here for it. And today I thought I would talk about the stack of books that I plan on reading for the rest of fall. So without further ado, let's get started. So I figure I should probably start with the book that I am actually reading right now, and that is Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. I think the series has been getting a lot more buzz because the sequel just came out, so I didn't really hear about it too much when this first one came out, but I'm about like halfway through it at this point. And the idea is that Finley Donovan is a struggling writer. She writes romantic suspense novels, but she's also a single mother. She is kind of hard up against it financially, and her ex-husband is really like breathing down her back about being able to pay for everything for the kids. So she's really stressed about money. She has absolutely no idea what to write for her next novel. And so she is at a meeting with her editor in a Panera, and she's describing how she usually goes about like writing these murders, the types of murders that she likes to write about. But the woman next to her overhears her and thinks that the murder that she is describing is actual murders that she has committed. And she mistakes her for like a hitman assassin type deal. So the lady leaves Finley a note, basically with like super vague information, but saying that she can offer her like $50,000 to do this thing. And so because she's so tied up against it financially, Finley decides to call the number that the lady left, and then it goes from there. So I am liking it so far. I have kind of like a fun, like, I want to say pocket copy. I don't think that's the correct term. Like a trade paperback. There we go. Remembered. But basically, I am really liking it so far. It's a bit stressful. I'm not gonna lie. I think that that's the best way to kind of talk about this book. It's a little stressful. Finley has pretty bad luck, makes some questionable decisions. I get kind of stressed out reading about her life, but it's funny, it's entertaining, it's zany, still a really good read. The whole like murder aspect is really creative, and so like I'm here for it. Is it perfect? Maybe not, but I'll give another update once I have finished it. The next book that I want to read this fall is one that I'm definitely going to be reading in October. Once you see the cover, you'll know why. It is In the Company of Witches by Orly Wallace. And this is like a cozy mystery, and I've never really read a cozy mystery before, so that's new for me, but basically, this one is about Bryn Warren, and it revolves around a murder that takes place at her aunt's Airbnb. Or I guess not Airbnb, just a regular bed and breakfast. My bad. But Bryn is a witch. She's not just a witch, she is a witch of the dead, so she can commune with ghosts. And so there's ghost vibes, witch vibes, murder vibes, cat vibes. It's gonna be a winner. I can already tell. So really excited to dive into that one. Let's see, I'm kind of going out of order here. Oh, the next two that I think I'll talk about are series that I started and then simply failed to get around to reading the rest of them. So next I'll talk about Siege and Storm, which is the second book in the Grishaverse Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. I really enjoyed reading Shadow and Bone. I actually just finished it finally like at the end of September, and I'm super excited to get into this one. I had bought Shadow and Bone like maybe a month before the Netflix TV show came out, and I planned on just like reading it and then diving into the TV show and enjoying myself, but then I learned that the TV show also incorporates elements from the rest of the trilogy as well as the Six of Crows duology, And I know myself, and I know that if I watch a TV show before reading the book, I will never actually get around to reading the book itself. So, getting through this one. I shouldn't say getting through it though, like I am actually really enjoying it. I liked Shadow and Bone a lot. I mean, it definitely has that like chosen hero vibe, which can like, it's not like the most original, but the world building is really cool. I like the whole idea of like the shadow fold and like what's that all about. Honestly, not a big fantasy reader, but I feel like it's pretty accessible fantasy. So for me, I really love that about Shadow and Bone, and I'm excited to see where Bardugo takes it in Siege and Storm. The next book is the second installment of a different series that I had started over the summer and then just stopped reading because of course I did, and that is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second in a trilogy, the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder in like June, July, August, somewhere around there. Really loved it. Absolutely amazing. Still one of my favorite mysteries that I've read. So I'm so excited for this one. Like, I already know that I love Jackson's writing. I will read a mystery or a thriller every now and then, but I'm not a big fan of gratuitous violence or gore. And so like YA mysteries are kind of great for that because they sometimes have like a little bit of blood and whatever, but it's not gratuitous the way that like adult mysteries or thrillers especially can sometimes be. But basically in this one, Pip has decided that despite her success with solving the murder in the first book and the success of the podcast that she had started with Ravi Singh, she is done sleuthing. Those days are behind her until someone else that she knows goes missing. And so she takes it upon herself to figure out what's happening. I think that it's going to be really good. There's a slightly different dynamic here because it says Pip follows a trail of clues, uncovering more of her town's dark secrets along the way. And this time, everyone is listening. Will she find Jamie before it's too late? Bum, bum, bum. But I'm just honestly so excited to read this one. I loved how Holly Jackson included like interviews and things like that. Oh my gosh, so this one has like, it has like a file and then like photos and stuff in it too. So this looks like a case report, and that's so cool. Yeah, I'm so excited to read this one. Enough of that. These are honestly just like your basic girl fall dark academia books. Nobody is going to be surprised by these, but it's about time that I got around to them. First one is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Do I even need to explain what this one's about? I mean, dark academia, classic. Everyone loves Donna Tartt, it seems like. So, it's time. Like, if I'm gonna be a bookworm and I'm gonna be, you know, seasonal about my reads, like, it's time. Definitely be diving into this one. I think what scared me off of this one in the past is I've heard that, like, it's a bit on the slower side. And so in the past, when I've had trouble with reading slumps and the like, I've been afraid to pick up a book like this because I feel like it will send me slumping even further. I think that's why I've been hesitant to pick it up in the past, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of good reading this fall, and I feel like that trend is going to continue, so I am crossing my fingers that the reading vibes stay strong this October and November, and I can finally get around to this classic. So I am really excited to read it. I love the vibes that it's about. So once I just rip the band-aid off, I know I'll be enjoying this one. Speaking of reading slumps kind of getting in the way, this is exactly what happened with this book, and that is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. You can see a couple little tabby tabs where I had been reading it before. This one is another dark academia, murder mystery, and I am like huge history nerd, huge English literary nerd, also a huge theater nerd. So the fact that this book takes place around a dark academia setting where a group of students are doing a Shakespeare play and there's a mystery involved, it's gonna be perfect. I don't know what else to say about it. I remember before, like, the prose is just beautiful. Like, it's the kind that you just like want to like hold inside and savor, and the scenery is so vivid, and the way that the author incorporates like Shakespearean quotes into the story just makes it that much cooler. I'm a giant Shakespeare nerd. I don't know what to tell you. So I think this one, I just gotten away from it for some reason after like 200 pages and didn't pick it back up. Highly regret it, so I'm gonna right that wrong this fall. This one is by a favorite author of mine. I haven't read one of his books in a hot second, but I'm really excited for this one. This is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. This is actually like the illustrated edition. So we've got super cool cover here. Got the back, nice red spine. And I love, let's see if I can find, ooh, yes, okay. Tell me that that is not a cool illustration. I just, like, as good as a book is, if it's got some cool illustrations to boot, like, I'm sold. I'm sold. It's like a cover buy, but like for the inside, I guess. Anyways, so this one, I love Neil Gaiman's work. I read The Graveyard Book maybe 2 years ago, and The Ocean at the End of the Lane maybe about 1 year ago. Haven't really read anything since. This one, it's kind of got that like magical realism dual universes type vibe, which I love. I think is it like a darker shade of magic where they have like the 4 different Londons, and they all are the same London, but totally different vibes, different histories, different people, different rulers, all these things. So this one, there's I think 2 Londons. So there's like the above ground London that everybody knows, and then the, what do they call it, the London below. So Richard Mayhew helps a mysterious girl he finds bleeding on the pavement, and his boring life changes in an instant. Her name is Dor. She's on the run from 2 assassins in black suits, and she comes from London below. His act of kindness leads him to a place filled with monsters and angels, a beast in a labyrinth, and an earl who holds court in a tube train. It is strangely familiar, yet utterly bizarre. I mean, I don't know what else I have to say about this one. Dual worlds. So cool. It's illustrated, it's got magical realism, a little bit of adventure, monsters, everything that you want in an October book. And I know I keep saying I'm excited, but I really am. I'm so excited for all of these. So this next one isn't like a traditional fall vibes book, but since it just came out recently, definitely one that I'm going to be reading this fall. That is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. So I read Hamnet maybe like almost 2 years ago in the middle of an ice storm, and it was immaculate. I mean, just immaculate. Like I said, love Shakespeare, and I was a history major in college, and I studied early modern Europe, so it's literally right up my alley. Got paid an entire summer to study the plague, all right? So for those who have read Hamnet, you know how much I loved that one. But this one is takes place in Renaissance Italy, which I also studied in college. And this one is about Lucrezia de Medici and her marriage to, I think it's the Duke of Ferrara, I believe. Yeah, Duke of Ferrara. So it's, I think based on like what I've heard about it, it's the vibe where like she isn't wanting to be married to this person, but she finds her own way to still be like strong and powerful in herself despite all of this. It also, like, the guy's a duke, so there's the whole like Italian Renaissance court drama going on. I mean, I love a good royal court extravaganza, and I'm sure the descriptions of 16th century Italy and Florence, I mean, you know, Florence is in Italy, but you get what I mean. I can't wait. And I know from reading Hamnet, like the way that O'Farrell writes is absolutely gorgeous. The prose is so cool. It just really feels like nothing, like Hamnet, like really felt like nothing I had ever read before. And I've read like plenty of historical fiction, but the way that she twisted and like really dove into Anne Hathaway's story was so unique and original. And so I really can't wait to hear about this person that I really don't know anything about. So Lucrezia, I'm gonna be coming for you this fall. And the last book is also a historical fiction. This one, though, I think really does fit the fall vibes, and that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. So the reason that this one fits the fall vibes, let me get the little synopsis for you guys. So Barcelona, 1945. A city slowly heals from its war wounds, and Daniel, an antiquarian book dealer's son who mourns the loss of his mother, finds solace in a mysterious book entitled The Shadow of the Wind, one by Julien Carrat. Probably should check how to pronounce that. But when he sets out to find the author's other works, he makes a shocking discovery. Someone has been systematically destroying every copy of every book Carrat has written. In fact, Daniel may have the last of Carrat's books in existence. Soon, Daniel's seemingly innocent quest opens a door into one of Barcelona's darkest secrets, an epic story of murder, madness, and doomed love. Tell me that that does not sound incredible and perfect for fall, all right? Like, oh my gosh. I remember when I first read the first few pages in the bookstore, I was just like I just had no words to describe this kind of prose. Again, just beautiful, beautiful words. Like, there's the story overall, and then each sentence individually, you're just like, oh, like, what a beautiful time to be alive. But like the first sentence, a secret's worth depends on the people from whom it must be kept. Ooh, in the prologue. I still remember the day my father took me to the cemetery of forgotten books for the first time. Like, cemetery of forgotten books. I'm sold. I'm sold. I don't know what else to say on that matter. I think that will wrap up today's video. I just get so warm and cozy inside seeing a whole stack of books that I am looking forward to, and knowing that I have so much good reading ahead of me, so much time to just be cozy, wear a nice sweater, have a cup of tea, and like read my books, and I am the happiest camper. So looking forward to diving into all of these now that I've like really had a chance to look at them and talk about them today. And I can't wait to tell you more about them once I've actually read them. So I think that'll end today's video, but thanks for listening. And like always, I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.